Hey, what's going on, guys? John here. So in this video, you're gonna learn how to find an awesome real estate deal. I mean, just a killer deal where you're gonna make a lot of money. Because at the end of the day, I think the easiest way to look at real estate investing is look at it like a competition. You're out there competing with every other investor in your market to find the best deal. Now, if your only resource is a realtor, you're screwed. You're dead in the water. You'll never compete and win and beat the investors that are using the tricks and tips that I'm explaining in this video. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Smash that like button. Comment if you have any unique strategies that I didn't cover in this video. Comment them below for all of the other viewers, and subscribe. Drop in the comment section you're a new subscriber. I'll personally welcome you to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell. All right, let's begin with number one. The first is door knocking, going from door to door. And I've done this for many years as a realtor, going door to door, playing the numbers game. We've all seen the movie Pursuit of Happiness, where he's just out there putting in that work, just working to get that deal and land those clients. The same thing's true with real estate investing. The more feelers you put out in the market, the more likely it is that you're going to find that ready, willing, and able home seller that is willing to sell you the property. Now, if you applied everything else that I've taught you, then you now understand what a good real estate deal looks like, and it's going to be easier for you to come up with a good price to offer them for their property. And the next is cold calling, where you pick up the phone and you're calling people from basically door to door. And cold calling can be very lucrative, and I've picked up a lot of deals from this. However, I like to play the game where you are careful with how you're spending your time. You're not just cold calling a bunch of random people. You're calling people that specifically have property that fits your interest in that area that you're targeting. And you can find this out through what's called a title rep, a title representative. So they're generally inside real estate offices, and what they do a lot more than just handing out notepads and pens, is that they tell you who owns what property in the area. So if you're looking for a fourplex, for example, and they're all one bedrooms, and you want this in between a 4-block radius, they'll be able to tell you who owns that property. And you can then take that person's name, put it online in whitepages.com or yellowpages.com. You can find out the phone number, and you can talk to these people directly. So you can call them directly. And the proper thing to do is then to use that title rep when you do that sale. Because as you establish these relationships are going to equate to big dollars down the road. And on the next deal, that title rep is going to be really urgent and quick to work with you again. And that's what you want to do. Being a real estate investor, you're building out a team around you. You need these people ready, willing, excited to work with you, because they make money when you make money. So title reps are very important. The next, you want to look for people that just leased their property, say 9 months ago or 10 months ago. And why I say this is generally on a lease is for 12 months. So at month 9 or month 10, these tenants may be more likely to move out. And if they're moving out, that property owner is thinking, well, do I have to paint everything? Do I have to do everything again and fix it up and then go through that headache of renting it? Well, no. If you pick up that phone and you call them first, then you might end up lifting the weight of the world off their shoulders, and they might be very excited to talk to you. And as long as you have that pre-approval letter in your hand where you're qualified for a mortgage and you're a ready, willing, and able buyer yourself, then they would love to probably do a deal with you as long as the price is right. So make sure you're ready, willing, and able. So speak with a mortgage broker. That call is free. And you could probably do it in a 10 or 20 minute period where they look at your tax returns, tell you where you need to be to qualify for a mortgage if you don't qualify already. And if you do qualify, they'll give you that pre-approval letter and you're ready to go, rocking and rolling. Next is something that I personally like to do. And it's really speaking with contractors and developers inside of your area, inside of your market. Let me give you an example. Let's say that I really like one area of LA. So what I do is around 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning, I go and I'm driving that neighborhood and I'm looking for properties that are under construction. And when they're under construction, the crew is getting there. So when the crew is there, generally there's going to be either the project manager or maybe the owner, someone that has authority on that site. Now, I want to speak to that person for a variety of reasons. First, I want to see what other areas they're buying in. But you don't just open that conversation and say, hey, tell me information. You open that conversation by saying, you're doing an incredible job. This property looks amazing. How long have you been doing this? I hope to get to this level one day. Genuinely compliment them. If you compliment them, they'll be more likely to talk to you. And you just talk to them and have a nice dialogue. And your goal here is a friendship at the end, because you want to have people in your corner that are successful. And I'm sure down the line, if everything goes well, maybe you two could do maybe a deal together. Who knows where it will lead. But the moral of the story is you want to see what other areas they're buying in, and you want to speak to the contractors there. You might not speak to all of them. You might speak to one, and that contractor might tell you about other projects he is working on. And if they're working on other projects, maybe that person is desperate to sell. Maybe the market's breaking and they want to get out from under it because they don't think that they could hold out for much longer, especially with what's happening right now in the world. There's a lot of people that are scared. So, and who knows, that developer might also have other projects. Maybe he or she they took on way more debt than they should have. So this could be a great resource for you as well. The next is absentee owners. Absentee owners are people that live out of state, they own a property, and they're absent from that property. And this person can also be given to you through that title rep. So if you have that title rep, say, hey, I'm looking in this area specifically, and I'm looking for people that own property here that live out of state. And they'll be able to supply that list for you. Simply reverse engineer, look at their name on that title, on the title of the property, throw it in whitepages.com or yellowpages.com, and you can simply just get that phone number, call them up, say, hey, what's going on? I'm John. I'm a pre-approved and qualified buyer looking to buy a rental property in this area, and I noticed that you have a property here. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in possibly selling the property. And if they're interested, they'll have a conversation. If they're not, they won't, and you move on. However, as we step into a different market, people are going to be looking at how they can put some cash in their pocket. So this might actually be a really, really good time for you to start going through that whole scenario, running through these absentee owners. Next is that notice of default. So what this means is they have a property and they can't make their payments, or they haven't been making their payments. So the title rep will tell you, hey, this person's been delinquent on their mortgage payments. You know, a year ago, 2 years ago, they caught up, but they're delinquent again. And the people that have that track record of being delinquent, they're more likely going to be tight on cash, especially times like these where all these service industry businesses are closed down. So people that have a track record of being delinquent, more likely going to be motivated to sell their property. And next is you're looking for people that have deferred maintenance. So what this means is you're driving for dollars, as they say. So you're looking for people that have horrible paint jobs, overgrown grass. It just looks like it needs a ton of work. This is a really good resource for you because these people might not have the money to do the work themselves, or they don't care enough about the property. Regardless, this might be a headache for them. And if this is a headache for them, then this supplies you a great option. So you have a couple options here. You could either door knock it yourself, and if they're home, you can talk to them. And if they're not, you can get the phone number through the reverse engineering, the title report, through the title rep. Call them, or you can even speak to a realtor. Ask the realtor to help you track them down. And as you're speaking to that realtor, you could talk about another option, which is expired listings. And so what this is let's say 6 months ago, 12 months ago, they wanted to sell their property. Generally, a listing agreement is for 6 months. So if they list it in January, 6 months later in June, the property goes off the market if they decided not to extend the listing with the realtor. Now, if it goes off the market, this offers you benefit because now you can call that property owner and say, hey, I'm John, I'm a ready, willing, and able buyer, and I'd like to buy your property. And 6 months ago, they were thinking of selling it, and at that time, they would have had 6% to 10% worth of expenses if they were to be sold through that realtor. Now they can cut through all those expenses and go straight to you, or you can work out something with the realtor to where they'll get a commission if they can connect you to and do the paperwork. So there's a variety of ways you can make a deal happen there. And then finally, you can use mailers. Mailers are pretty simple. You can use EDDM, for example, which is every door direct mail. And it's simple, I've done it. And I used to do it as a realtor where I'd mail out 5,000 postcards, and every 3 weeks I would do this. And it would cost me about $1,500 to build out all the postcards and about another $700 for the postage. So it was a little expensive, but it's a good way for you to really hit a lot of doors. But I suggest not going just through single family homes, because as we step into a recession, people are going to downsize from their single family homes into apartments. So I think it's better off that you go to a 2 to 4 unit property. So that being said, just take all that stuff into consideration. I hope this video is very valuable for you. I hope it gave you some tips and tricks into how you can find a great real estate deal for yourself. And again, if you have any unique ideas, drop them in the comments. Help other people. Smash that like button and subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, drop in the comments. I'll personally welcome you to the channel. Smash that bell. And until next time. And by the way, you can look at the bottom of this page and there's a playlist with a bunch of other great, helpful, and informative videos to teach you about real estate, business, enhancing your credit, and more. All right, guys, until the next video.